Hello and welcome to my top 10 features I would like to see in Guild Wars 2. Number 10. Cooking and Jewelcrafting to level 500. Right now, cooking and jewelcrafting are the two kids with nothing in common stuck in a children's room while all the cool crafts are out partying. Of course, ascended trinkets are in abundance through other means, but to leave them less than all the other crafts would seem unfair. Cooking, with more challenging content coming, would well be able to profit from the extra 100 levels, especially considering food might become more important at that point. That and I really just want my crafts to all be level 500. Number 9. More achievements. I love doing achievements, but I'm at a point where I have to go to World vs. World or Structured PvP to get them. The latter I can manage a few matches a day off, but the former, let's not get me started there. I'd love for every dungeon path to have a specific set of achievements, like not getting pulled in by collars, zip wires, or trying to dodge the great balls of fire in Citadel Flame Part 1. You could also make profession achievements. Stuff that's about using your profession mechanic in the right way, leveling up, or even using weapon skills correctly a certain amount of times. Like using the Guardian Staff skill to give allies might 6,000 times, for instance. There are so many things that I could think of that I'd probably need to do a separate video for that. But for now, let's just keep it at I want more achievements. Number 8. Open and consume all. This is probably the simplest thing on my whole list. I want an open all option for my bags, containers, and other clickies. In 3 years, I went through an obscene amount of mice just because I keep destroying the left mouse button. Oops. Now, this has been a problem for me since the old Dungeons & Dragons RPGs, but still, anything to alleviate the pain of hours and hours of clicking through stuff is a good thing in my book. Number 7. Legendary Armor. Okay, I get why it's not there, but I still want it. Even if it's 10 times harder to get than a legendary weapon each piece, I still want it. I'd go through a no waypoint, don't die, do 70 near impossible achievements ordeal of doom and despair if I could get my legendary armor. I'll never have to worry about the meta changing like I am now again. To me, that kind of torture would be so worth the reward. I'm hoping that instead, it ties into challenging content in Heart of Thorns, but still, willing to go through hell just to get it. Number 6. The return of Season 1. Yeah, I know, they already said they would, but it's gonna be after Heart of Thorns launches. It's going to be like reading the Fellowship of the Ring after you finished The Return of the King. I didn't sit through all of Season 1. I got tired with bi-weekly, temporary content once the Tower of Nightmares rolled around. The temporary part of Season 1 made it so that I felt more like I had to get my achievements in time rather than actually take the time to enjoy the lovingly crafted story. I feel like I could have known the characters far better if I had just had the time to get to know the characters, rather than to rush through everything at rocket speed in order to get achievements that would disappear 2 weeks later. So for me, getting Season 1 back would be a major thing. Number 5. Player notes for guilds and Friendlist. What was this again? Wait, who? Why? Does this guy have a reason not to represent? I'd love to be able to put a note on people on my friends list or my guild roster. Just a simple short note where I can put why they're not representing or whether they're gone, or in the case of the friends list, even who they are or how I met them. In the case of the friends list, it would be for my eyes only. But in the case of the guild roster, it would be a public note so that all officers can actually see what's going on here. Now, I'm including friends list because people tend to ask me why I am on their friends list. I don't know. Why would you? Maybe. No, am I? No way, I'm not that sexy. Chances are rather high that you're not on mine. I have like 6 people on there, and 2 I can't play with because they're on American servers. I put letting us play together on the wishlist too, but not gonna happen. Number 4. Raids. Yes, I know. I'm gonna have you guys tell me to go back to that certain cold weather studio game that's lost my interest 6 years ago. Hear me out. I want content for more than 5 people that is not open world content. Things that require an organized group to solve tactically heavy encounters. My ideal number is 10 people there, but I'm more concerned with whatever number being chosen being permanent and not changing with every expansion. I own a guild in this game and I have no desire to see it ripped apart by changing amounts of people for raids. It happens. Still, I'd love to see something that is created to be challenging. Something that isn't solved easily. Something that doesn't hold with the stack and smack meta and that has to be solved by thinking outside of the Zerk box. Now, I'm not saying I want raids that will keep you busy 24/7, but something that can keep a guild occupied for 2 or 3 days a week would be perfect. Number 3, fishing. Fishing is one of those things I do in MMOs when I don't know what else to do, but I still want to be online to chat. Fishing is a nice feature in any MMO. Just one of those little things to do while you're just talking in chat. Too lazy to run Citadel of Flame again, or go complete your 9th world map. I'd want fishing to be something more active than most MMOs though, where you just wait for a chat message and then click at the right time. I'm hoping for a system where you actually have to tire out the fish, aim where you cast the fishing rod, or have to pick bait depending on what you want to catch. Those are just tiny little things that can make fishing a lot more interesting. The drops don't have to be great. They could just be fish that are used in cooking recipes, or maybe rarely some materials on the level of the zone you're fishing in. Maybe you could fish up fishing-themed armor, or even just get parts of a collection in order to get there. Maybe you could even fish up hazards, like monsters or exploding kegs. There is so much that can be done to make fishing interesting enough for enough people to make it worth the time spent developing it, especially if the more challenging content in Heart of Thorns makes it suddenly useful to have food buffs on all the time. Until then, I'll just be glad my PlayStation 2 still works so that I can fish in Okami whenever I want to. Number 2, guild commissions. Wait, what are those? Well, simply put, they are events for your guild. They could last for an hour or a week, but they don't require activation from the leadership. This makes for more things to do with your guild without any events or researches needing activation. If it were a research, it would be researched once and always remain active thereafter, coming up with a new set of events every day or week, depending on how hard it is. Rewards could be commendations, influence, or a buff that remains up for as long as no new event is rolled out. Ideally, there would be several tiers of tasks, meaning that every week or every day you have a couple of things to do for the guild that will help the guild grow and keep you busy while still being rewarding to the people that actually put the effort in. Tasks could include gathering certain items that may or may not be abundant on the marketplace, doing dungeon runs, completing meta events, or even just silly things like killing bugs. I love it when games let me spend more time on actually helping my guild out. It makes me feel like even if there's things I'm not good at, I can always do something else. Number 1, housing. Housing is a feature that I've loved in many of the online games I've played over the years. The idea that I have my own little space that I can call and make my own in a game is something that I'm definitely missing in the game as it is now. Yes, we have our home instances, but they're scarcely more personal than a white blank t-shirt. There just isn't any way to make it feel like it's yours. I especially loved the part of the housing feature in another game I played where you would get buffs depending on the furniture you had standing around in your house. Now, this doesn't need to be big combat buffs, but it could be something simple like a 1% karma gain or a 1% gold gain, or even something completely unseen before like a higher chance to upgrade your things in the Mystic Forge. Even if something like that wouldn't be a part of the housing in this game, however, I really want my own customizable corner. That's it for my top 10. Leave your top 10 or 5 or 3 in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos. I want my SAB.